Okay, here I am again, Rich Procida. I'm going to do another tarot reading, and this time it's going to be on who changed who, Chad or Lori Daybell. There's been discussion about somehow how Lori changed when she met Chad Daybell. And there's some indication that somehow maybe Chad changed when he ran into Lori. My suspicion is that Lori was a psychopath all her life. She just had everyone fooled. I think her brother was also a sociopath as well. I think to some degree, everybody involved is a narcissist in some level. I think Lori became an expert at manipulating narcissists. I don't think the Woodcocks or Brandon are, but Melanie, Chad, these relationships where they get into relationships very quickly. There's a big love bombing phase, and then they get into a relationship. And that happened with Lori, definitely with Chad, and with practically all of her marriages and all her relationships. Melanie was able to just quickly get married, and then Alex married this Sulima, and we don't know what happened there. And my last reading was how Alex Cox died, and one of the things that came out of the reading was that we may never know, that it may be a crime or injustice never solved. In any case, so today's reading is going to be on asking who changed who? Did anybody really change here? Or were they just phonies all their life? I mean, we know that antisocial personality disorders, psychopaths, are able to be very charming at times. They can fool people and trick people. So, and this goes into the idea of these cults and these different beliefs. What did these beliefs somehow cause them to commit these heinous acts, which they're just accused of right now? We don't know where Tylee and JJ, Lori's children, are right now. And I think they're pretty much presumed dead. I did a reading, and it was very clear from the reading that they were dead. And I'm sorry about that. It's terrible. But rather than go into that, I want to, like I said before, this is about confirmation. I'm not going to ask a lot of questions. I don't want to ask vague questions. And I'm not going to talk real fast and rattle off a bunch of information. This is to confirm whether the cards are giving me accurate information, whether I'm interpreting things accurately, and this will be also for you to see if this actually works. It could be that I'm not capable of it if it doesn't work for me, but if anybody is, I think I would be. But so what I usually do is a 3-card spread, usually past, present, future, but here again we're talking about the past, so but in some sense we're talking about the future and what's going to be revealed in the future. Hopefully we're going to find out who changed who here, who was the one who convinced who to kill who. My suspicion, Lori convinced Chad to kill his wife to increase her life insurance policy and kill his wife. There was some plan for Zulima or by Zulima. Zulima is not a suspect, I understand. And my suspicion is that Alex was going to kill her for the insurance money. But perhaps following Lori's instructions, ended up killing himself instead. Whether Lori is behind that, the reading seemed to indicate an injustice would occur, and we may never know. So I've done my prayer and I've done my meditation, and I want to ask spirit guides to, and only those spirits that have my best interest at heart, to help me with this reading. I can have other spirits come through that can help me. They have to have my best interest at heart to make sure that I'm protected. And hopefully, usually the spirits know the answers. I don't need a specific spirit, I don't think, but who knows? So here we go. So I do read reversals. And the question is, we ask the question, who changed who? The question is difficult, I think, for the cards to answer. I try to use my Rider Tarot deck. So the first one I got is the Seven of Cups reversed. So reversal usually means the opposite. Let me show it to you here. Let me make sure you got a good look at that. Okay. Look at the snake coming out of the first cup. We have the guy with his head covered in the second cup. Is that what that is? And then, is that a woman? That's a woman right there, isn't it? And then we have, is that a goat or a ram coming out? I'll have to take a look at that, but that's obviously a wreath and some bubbles or balls or something. And is that ice or a castle? The guy is looking into it. So let me turn it around and look my way. Yeah, something. Oh, that's a gargoyle. That's a gargoyle right there in the blue. Right there. That's a gargoyle coming out. Huh. Wow. So what I'm getting, the snake, that's temptation. Garden of temptation. The eyes covered, to me, that's Chad. Chad allowed himself to be blinded. And then the female, it may indicate that this is the influence of Laura, because the female's head is not covered. Now, this card, I don't have the cards memorized and what they're supposed to mean, but it looks like this is like a guy is coming in, and there's some good things in this that he can pick, and then something that maybe he doesn't want to pick, but he's got some choices there. And in the reverse form, it seems like he doesn't really see those options for some reason. Could also mean a lot of false promises, a lot of false choices, a lot of false rewards coming out of this. And upside down can mean an emptying of emotions. There isn't really a lot of feelings here. Whereas upright, quite a bit of feelings here, coming out. A lot of different feelings. But upside down, lack of any feelings. So that might be the background of the problem. Now, in the present position, we have upright Ace of Swords. So this represents decision. This is the decision. The decision that was made. And then the third card is the Five of Cups. So we've got some emotions. Notice how the 3 cups are turned over and spilled. And notice how he's alone. So this is the result of the decision. Everything's spilt, everything's lost. There are 2 cups standing up behind him. Let me see that better. There you go. You see that better. And that may mean, he's not in jail. He's not in jail. Yet. But he's made a mess of his life. So that's what it looks like to me, but should we ask another question and get a little more clarity on this? Try and figure out what's happening. I think that this reading pretty much tells us, in my mind, that Lori's the one. But let's ask if Lori talked Chad into killing his wife. Did Lori, I'm being told again the message to shuffle the cards some. If Lori asked Chad, Lori convinced Chad. Okay. Last time I got a bunch of major arcana cards on Alex, and this time I'm not getting that. But so the background of that question is a reverse 7 of Pentacles. So let me turn it upright for you, because it's always easier to see what it is when it's upright. Get a little closer. You notice the Pentacles, the guy watching over what they have, watching over what he's accumulated, and the hard work that he put into this nest egg. No nest egg. Chad, I understand Chad was out of money. His book business wasn't making any money. And this is another reason why I believe he's a narcissist. Not because I don't believe his stories. I believe that he had, I can believe those ghost stories of his. He worked in a graveyard, sure. What I don't think it means is that he's somehow grown up because of that. He can only talk about himself in all these books. And no wonder nobody wants to buy him. He's not that interesting. So he was not making any money in his publishing business. And his wife was the one bringing home the bacon. She was a librarian. And there may have been some pressure that, that you're going to have to go out and start working again. The only thing he's ever done is dig graves. Now, he's getting older. He's not going to be able to do that. Well, he's a good writer, though. He could get a job writing somewhere, maybe. But could he write about himself? Looks like money problems. And that's what I suspect. This is all about money. That was the last reading I did. Money problems. Now, in the present or current position, we have the 9 of Cups reversed. 9 of Cups reversed. This is another card of someone seeming to be satisfied. He's got his cups in a row. Cups often represent feelings. And so, in the reversed, however, unsatisfied with his life. Of course he would be. So, but at the present time, he's very unhappy. That's basically what this card is saying. So, let me keep it here. And then we've got the 6 of, is it the 6? Yeah, the 6 of Swords reversed. So let me put that up here. And here we see he is with all these decisions to make, all these things in front, in the boat. I don't know if you want your sword sticking into your boat there like that. And then you notice the blonde female, and then there's actually a child there, huh? Wow, that's interesting. And he's pushing them along. So this is like burdens, bunch of decisions to make. I don't know. I need to look at this card. Wow. I don't know if the children would the woman and the children, if that represents Ty Lee and JJ, or if that represents Lori. But in the reverse position, maybe he was trying to release his burdens. But this is in the future position, so I would tend to want to look at it in the perspective of at least answering our question. Yeah, it came to me. Okay, here he would be the one driving. He would be the one making decision, pushing forward, moving forward. His children or wife and child would be the ones in tow, the ones who are going with him, right? But in the reverse position, trying to get rid of that glare there. Okay, in the reverse position, he's not the one driving it forward. He's not the one making the decisions. You know, like I said, a lot of this does correspond to what I already think or believe, right? So we'll see how that plays out. But so let's see. Okay. It's really hard to know what Lori told Chad about the children. Did she tell him that she killed the children? And he's like, all right, baby, we're set now. Let's ask what Chad knows about the children. Did she tell him? We'll ask a more specific question because that gives us a more specific answer. Did Chad know what happened to the children? And we'll assume that's, at this point, that they've been killed. All right? Try and get this information out. Might be able to clarify what's going on. All right. We're getting the Three of Pentacles reversed. And the reason I read reversed is because I figure it doubles the meaning of the cards. Want to get specific information, need more detail. I'm going to show you what the Three of Pentacles looks like. It looks like three people meeting in the dark. Now, it couldn't necessarily mean that. But, and they got the money. Only three people know. Three people were in on the plan. Obviously, Alex and Lori. And if there's a third, it's got to be Chad. Couldn't be anybody else, right? But it is in reverse, right? Which might indicate that to me, it seems to indicate that it's a dark situation. Here, this could be a meeting, somebody's working, they're putting cups up, they're talking, there's a paper, there's a contract there. And so that's what's coming to me is there's three people. Could be reverse, meaning there's not three people, but that could be two. Let's take a look at the other card. Well, the other card doesn't give us much additional information, but I think the reversed indicates here that there's a dark deal being made. Obviously, there's a contract here, but a contract for something illegal is invalid. There is really no contract. That comes from the lawyer side of me. You got an upright card, finally. This is the Nine of Swords. See that? And what this indicates is that he knows and it bothers him. He knows, he knows, he knows. Might be the reason for the marriage. Why would he go along? Narcissistic. And she's able to manipulate narcissists. That's now. This is kind of a weird card. But this is the Six of Pentacles, and it's in the upright position. And we can see he's giving to the poor, to the needy here. But it's just a very small amount. He's not giving much. It's really a pittance. You know, he's balancing everything out, trying to weigh everything out. Must be giving coins, and they look like they're begging. I don't know what to make of it. You can write in what you make of this card. The Six of Pentacles. I often will look up the meaning if I need to find out and get more information, but I don't have a book for that right now. I did have one right here. Let me look at the card. I guess he's going to pay. He's going to pay. I guess that's what it means. It could also indicate that he feels bad about it. So there's something a little bit here that he feels bad about the kids. You know, he feels bad about that. But what this really means is maybe he's going to pay. So we'll look for that. We'll look for that. That's information that can be confirmed or denied if it ever happens. Now, let's see. If you're looking at this shirt, you think it says athletics, but it says advocates. There's a softball team I was on, company softball team. So, what we've found so far is that Lori is the one who convinced Chad that Lori was the one who convinced Chad to murder his wife, and that Chad knows about the children, and that he's going to pay. Could also mean that let's put it this way, he's going to pay, and he's got the scales in the other hand, and that's going to indicate justice. He's going to pay. So that's how I'm interpreting that. That's how I'm interpreting that. Okay, so let's see what the next questions should be. Well, let's just ask, is this a result of new beliefs, these weird beliefs? Or is this the result of sociopathy, sociopathy, psychopathy, psych, psychopathy? Is it about sociopathy or psychopathy? Or is it about these new beliefs? In other words, was there a change in Lori because, I'm going to stick with Lori, because of these new beliefs she has, or is it something more that's innate to Lori? So I don't know how the cards are gonna tell me this, but we'll do first major arcana card, second major arcana card, background, justice reversed, justice reversed, justice reversed, background. She was always a sociopath, always a psychopath. Interesting how this confirms what I already think, but we'll have to see. Always a psychopath, always unjust. Tower in the upright position. Can't say that card dropping out means anything because I got bad fingers. But it does sort of compare. You can see the tower there. You saw the other card. Okay. So it's sort of the same sort of thing, right? You know, this is, and I think this is her world tumbling down. This is just the end result of somebody's behaviors. End result of never growing up, never taking responsibility, never really seeking to change. Of course, the sociopath never will. This is, and then also something, obviously, the murder of her husband didn't get her the $1 million, and that, my belief is that set her off. That's what set her off. She had the plan to get the $1 million. She got the idea when Ryan, her prior husband, died. She succeeded with that only to find that he had switched the beneficiaries because he thought she was going to kill him, and she was telling people that he thought she was going to try and kill him. So this tells you that this woman was no good. If her husband, who, traveled a lot, wasn't around, said, she's going to kill me. But he also said that she started getting strange beliefs, and he thought it was mental illness. No, it was just psychopathy revealing itself as a person. A narcissist ages and is going to have a lot of difficult time now keeping up that front. And it must have seemed like the world was ending to her if she couldn't get some money out of these guys, because every guy she was with was just a money pot. That's all it was. She was a beautiful, beautiful beauty queen, and every guy was just a way to make a living. And there are so many women like that. And so, and they're all narcissists, and they all treat their men like shit. So, her world is tumbling down right now, and that's it for her. Now, this card, I'm going to have to This is in the future position. And since I got the justice in the first, I couldn't get the justice in the last card. But to me, what this looks like is there you have the moon in the background there. Moon is often the symbol for the dark part of our personality, not necessarily evil, though. But this really seems like this is the first time she's going to have to face justice. This is the first time people are not going to be fooled by her looks, by her charm, by her flirtatiousness, by her pretend innocence and shallowness. Like when she'd go to the police, say, "All I want my lip gloss. It's a terrible thing not to have my lip gloss." Yeah. She's going to face justice. Blind justice, not justice that's going to judge her based on her looks or her body or something silly like that. So I think that's enough. I think we've got the answers to our questions now, and we will see what happens. And that's the key here. I hope the answers have been clear and straightforward. Let me know if you think that I'm wrong about some of these things and what you think the cards might mean, or if you think I'm right. I always love that. All right, until next time. See you later. Keep your eyes, ears, and your third eye open. Bye now.